Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already and leave a comment because I'm sure there are a lot of comments as we're going to talk a little bit more about the offensive line, but also give you my five to watch for Monday's game, 49ers and the Lions. But first, this video is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery located in Moraga, California. I'm not sure if I might be heading over there later today. St. Mary's has a basketball game kicking off or tipping off conference play. So maybe I'll go over to Canyon Club. Might be tailgating with Canyon Club beer. Canyon Club has a wide selection of beer items as far as the different styles. If you go to their location in Moraga, also a great menu full of tasty bites, and it's coming soon to the Livery in Danville. So I'll keep you posted on that. Okay, first things first about the offensive line. I do agree with everybody and here's one thing I have cited PFF, and this is what PFF's pass blocking grades are for this season. 49ers rank 14th in the NFL in pass blocking. Detroit ranks 15th. Surprising, I suppose. That doesn't mean offensive line play. It just means pass blocking and then run blocking. 49ers rank first in the league in run blocking. Detroit ranks third. I would agree with everybody who commented on my last post or one of my last posts that says eyeball test tells you it's not even close. Detroit has a much better offensive line than the 49ers. I would totally agree with that. And so I think with the pass blocking and the run blocking, yeah, of course, most of that is with the offensive line, but it's also the backs picking up blitzes, tight ends, fullback, you name it. So, that's all taken into account. But I was just looking at PFF's grades on the offensive linemen. The overall grades, if you take the 49ers five starting offensive linemen and the Lions five starting offensive linemen, the overall grades for the Detroit Lions. Uh, Kevin Zeitler, the right guard, is number one of those 10, the five starters on each team. Penei Sewell is number two, and center Frank Ragnow is number three. And then you have Trent Williams, Dominic Pooney, Taylor Decker, the left tackle of the Lions, Colton McKivitz, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, and then the lowest of the 10 offensive linemen starting is Graham Glasgow of the Lions. He's their left guard. Um, I would say, and here's something run blocking, the Lions have one, two, three, as far as those offensive linemen. 49ers, five, six, four, five, six, and then eight and nine. And again, Graham Glasgow as far as run blocking, ranks lowest of the 10 offensive linemen. And then when it comes to pass protection, the 49ers have Trent Williams, and then it's followed by Taylor Decker, Penei Sewell, Kevin Zeitler, Colton McKivitz. So McKivitz is five, Pooney six, and Aaron Banks seven. And then it goes Frank Ragnow, eight, Graham Glasgow, nine, and then Jake Brendel bringing up the rear. The reason I've said, and whatever, I totally understand people, you pay as much or as little credence to those grades as you want. Totally understand it. But what I've said about the 49ers offensive line is I just don't know that it's just automatic that you have a hole. Let's just say Jake Brendel. Can they upgrade at center? Absolutely. Is it easier said than done? That's also absolutely. And I just look at like the Kansas City Chiefs. They had some holes at their tackle positions, and so they ended up drafting a an offensive lineman, a left tackle in the second round, number 63 overall. That was Kingsley Suamataia. And he ended up starting the first two games as a rookie. And then he struggled so bad that Andy Reid benched him, went with Wanye Morris. He played, started 10 games. He struggled. And so they went with DJ Humphries. So it just, there aren't a whole lot of starting caliber offensive linemen out there. And, the 49ers opened this season feeling good about their offensive line. And Chris Furster, their offensive line coach, who's a very well respected offensive line coach, said on Friday that he could not have been happier with the constitution, the composition of the offensive line heading into the season. He said that he felt like they had nine starting caliber offensive linemen on their roster. And now you look at them heading into this game against the Detroit Lions, and they're going to be. We'll get the injury report later, so we'll find out exactly where Spencer Burford is, where Colton McKivitz is. But I mean, it is entirely possible that the 49ers will be starting. What would it be? Three offensive linemen who aren't starters, who aren't regular starters. I mean, it is possible that Charlie Heck, who just signed with the team this week, he could be starting at left tackle. Nick Zakelj, who's never started a game in the NFL, he could be starting at left guard. Brenda will be at center. Pooney will be at right guard. And then it's possible that at right tackle, it could be Austin Pleasance. So that's where the 49ers are now with the injuries, with what, five offensive linemen on injured reserve. Okay, so now let's transition over to players to watch in this game. And I think at this point in the season, it's not everything I talk about, pregame show, postgame show, anything leading up to this game is always going to be reported or talked about with an eye to the future. And I think with the five to watch, that's exactly what I tried to do with coming up with the five to watch in this game. And with that in mind, my number five guy is Nick Zakelj. Remember, he was the guy. The 49ers put a higher draft value on Nick Zakelj than they did Brock Purdy. He was a draft pick that the 49ers selected at number 187 overall out of Fordham. And of course, Purdy was 262 overall. Those guys roomed together for the first couple of years. But with Aaron Banks more than likely not returning to the team next season, this is an audition for Nick Zakelj to at least put his name into that conversation as far as being a starter at left guard. Excuse me. Hopefully I muted that. Just felt that cough coming on. Okay. My number four guy, D Winters at linebacker. This is an opportunity for him to start and finish and play every down. After Dre Greenlaw has been shut down for the season, after Devondre Campbell quit the team a couple weeks ago, D Winters has an opportunity to show what he can do. And he will be tested in this game, both as a run defender and also in pass coverage, as Jahmyr Gibbs is quite an assignment for any linebacker covering out of the backfield, also Sam Laporta. So D Winters trying to show that he can be a regular part of this defense in the future. Number three guy is Deebo Samuel. He had the big game, of course, against Miami. I know a lot of people too little too late, but he did what kind of gets lost in the season for Deebo Samuel is that he did start off pretty well, through his first seven games, averaging about 70 yards receiving per game. Then he had that 5 game skid, 14 catches, 101 total yards, no touchdowns during that period of time. So Deebo Samuel, really the onus is on him to show that he is part of the future, that he's part of the solution, not part of the problem. And there's just a part of me that just thinks that this team is better when he's on the team. But the 49ers do have a decision to make with Deebo Samuel. So Deebo Samuel, a guy who wants to finish the season strong and make that case to the 49ers that he should be here long term. By the way, check out all of my five to watch at NBC Sports Bay Area.com. My number two guy to watch is Talanoa Hufanga. Going back to PFF, he's rated as the number 23 prospective unrestricted free agent this offseason. Number two as a safety behind Javon Holland from the Dolphins at safety. So Talanoa Hufanga has an opportunity. He didn't play in that NFC Championship game against the Lions because he had the torn ACL. But this is a game that any team that has some money to spend on a free agent safety will be watching this game to see how Hufanga plays, both in pass coverage and also close to the line of scrimmage, kind of like D. Winters, like I mentioned him. But Hufanga, um, he can make some money on Monday night if he performs at a level that makes teams kind of take notice against a very difficult team to go against if you're a safety. So Hufanga is number two, and then number one is George Kittle, 33 yards shy of the 1,000-yard mark for the fourth time in his career. And that list of tight ends who have achieved 1,000 yards or more 4 years in a career is a very exclusive group. Travis Kelce, Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski, and Jason Witten. So George Kittle, guy to watch, and he'll be also kind of considered the sixth offensive lineman in this game, as the 49ers have those issues on the offensive line to which I alluded earlier in this video. So those are my five to watch. I also, on the last video, talked about George Kittle and his future with the team in 2025. That'll be entering the final year of his contract. Do he and his agent push for an extension? Do the 49ers, what will the 49ers do? What are their options? Make him play out the final year of his deal, look to trade him, or sign him to a contract extension and in the process reducing his cap number for 2025. So my guess is that they look to extend him, but they also have to consider his age. He's on the wrong side of 30 at this point. How many more good years does he have left in him? He's the one guy this season for the 49ers who played at a very high level and doesn't look like he's losing much at all. So there was somebody in the comment section who said Fred Warner should be a higher priority to extend in the offseason. However, Warner has 2 more years left on his deal, 25 and 26. So I'm sure we'll be having this same conversation about Fred Warner a year from now. But this offseason, among the many issues the 49ers have to face and they have to deal with and they have to make decisions on, George Kittle is somebody that we haven't talked a whole lot about, but certainly is at the top of that list. All right, thanks for watching this video, and we'll be back probably later in the day once the 49ers release their injury report. And also let me know, Christmas lights, do they stay up, Christmas trees stay up till New Year's? Is that right? I mean, Christmas passed a couple days ago, but still got the Christmas tree up, still in that festive mood. So anyway, thanks for watching, and that is it for now.